Hi, Jennifer. You know, I love this movie, and it made me cry at the same time.
Oh, awesome. It's the only time I'm happy when people are crying.
You had your Adrian moment, your Rocky Adrian moment.
Yeah, I definitely did. I definitely did.
How do you feel about fighting for entertainment? Do you like to go to boxing matches and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I feel really lucky because, I box for fitness reasons, and I've gotten to really understand the sport from the technical strategy side of it, which really opened my eyes to what was going on. Because, when you don't really know that side of it, it's like, okay, it's two guys beating each other up. I don't really understand. But when you start to see the strategy involved, it's actually quite fascinating. And, it's just been fun to be a part of a film where I've gotten to learn so much more about it and kind of get immersed in that world and see what it's all about.
But did you ever knock anybody out in a ring, though?
No, no, I've never been hit. It's purely for exercise for me. So I'm absolutely in awe of these guys, what they're capable of physically. It's really incredibly impressive.
So you're not spooked out by the sight of blood and all that stuff?
No, and also I think, having worked on this film and having met all these fighters, I got to see how passionate they all are about it. I mean, they work so hard, they train so hard. It's a true lifestyle of just the nutrition and the training and the physicality of all of it, and they're so passionate about it. And a lot of these guys are friends. They train together, and there's a real camaraderie, and then they end up in the ring or in the cage together if it's MMA fighting. And it's just, they're as passionate about fighting as I am about acting. So to get to watch them do what they love to do and see it from that perspective is different than just going, okay, well, they're beating each other up. You really do see it for the sport that it is.
And you shot in Atlantic City, correct?
Well, some people did. I didn't. My stuff was all in Pittsburgh. I know, I was bummed. I'm yet to be to Atlantic City. I was just saying this morning, I'm a huge fan of Boardwalk Empire as well. So I'm like, I have to go to Atlantic City. It seems like such a cool city. But the guys did shoot there. I just didn't. They were just shooting exteriors there, and I wasn't in the exterior shots there.
So what did you do in Pittsburgh when you weren't shooting?
The cast hung out a lot, the cast and the fighters and everybody. There was a real sort of family environment there. So, when I was there and shooting, we would always spend weekends hanging out or finding a little place to go watch basketball games and have, chips and burgers and hang out. So it was definitely, it sort of felt like a family experience.
And speaking of family, this movie is, of course, about two brothers competing, and they ultimately wind up beating each other up in the ring. Can you relate to that at all, competing against a sibling?
It's funny. I hadn't really thought about that. Not really. I'm the oldest of three. I have a sister who's 3 years younger and a brother who's 9 years younger, and I'm really close to both of them in different ways, obviously, because of the age differences. But my sister is really my best friend, and we've never really had that moment of having some sort of intense sibling rivalry. I definitely empathize with that because I can only imagine, when I'm looking at these two brothers and what they went through and sort of the damage that's been within the family in the movie, my heartstrings are just torn at watching what these brothers have gone through and knowing that they truly love each other, and yet there's just so much for them to overcome to be able to be close again.
Now, if you weren't married to Joel Edgerton in the movie, would you still be rooting for him in the fight?
Oh my gosh, that's an interesting question. I guess, yeah, probably. I mean, I think what Gavin O'Connor, who directed the film, did such a great job of doing is making you feel like you don't know who to root for. You really do see that both these brothers have good intentions, and both these brothers have been through so much in their lives. And as you go through the movie, you really get torn. Like, okay, now I'm rooting for him. Oh, now I'm rooting for him. Oh, now I'm rooting for him. And you sort of see the good and bad of both these men, and you really are torn. So I am definitely biased because I definitely did experience that world through the eyes of supporting Joel Edgerton's character because I was married to him. So it'd be hard to imagine not rooting for him. But at the same time, watching that end fight as Tess was really tough. I mean, it's hard for her to even cheer knowing that it is such a complicated situation, knowing that it would be really hard to win or lose that fight.
And those were actually extras, right? They didn't CGI all those people.
You know what? Depending on the day, they had a lot of extras. There were some days that they would just have sections of 100 people, and some days they had thousands of people in there. I don't know that we ever filled the stands all the way to the top. So I'm sure that there is some amount of fans CGI'd in, but there were days where there were literally thousands of extras in there.
Now, Jennifer, before I let you go, I have to ask you what it was like being directed by Demi Moore in Charlotte.
It was awesome. You know, she's really extraordinary. She's so lovely and so detail-oriented, and you know, because she is an actor, it's just always a joy as an actor to work with an actor-director because they get it, and they know exactly where your head is at, and they know exactly what you're going through, and I just truly enjoyed working with her. I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be really, really special. She just had a great take on the material. She was really passionate about the material, and she made every day on set just an absolute joy. So I felt like I was in an environment where I could really do some great stuff and really feel free to try stuff. So I couldn't say enough nice things about Demi Moore as a director.
And of course, all the proceeds go to breast cancer, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's one of those lovely situations as an actor when you get to do something that you really enjoy, and at the same time you know it's for a good cause. So it's one of those happy situations.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure.
Great job, great film.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.